Hello, everyone. Welcome to another video where we will be presenting some commentary and gameplay featuring another core deck I have ran. But in line with what we've run for the past couple of weeks, this week we have a winner for the booster pack poll last week. And congratulations to Hero Dan TV for winning one Lorcana booster pack. His comment was, I need a Baymax so bad. Can we also get a Big Hero 6 deck? That would be pretty cool. I actually wasn't even sure if Big Hero 6 was part of Disney, but apparently a lot of people have told me that it is, so that would be amazing, especially with just the machines and the tech. Maybe Baymax can get some upgrades and that sort of stuff, so that'd be really cool. So congratulations, and as always, so this will be the fourth booster pack raffle. So there will be this raffle, and then the next video that I release, I will be raffling a starter deck, the Emerald Ruby starter deck. So definitely tune in next time as well. So this for this week, we are raffling off another booster pack. And as always, put something in the comments there in order to be entered into a drawing. I do want to just let everyone know, please reach out if you are a winner of the booster pack raffle. Please reach out to jillianlorcana@gmail.com. And that way I can get a hold of you, figure out how to send the booster pack so that it gets to you. Since that is my main goal here. Let's see, what should we prompt here? So in the comments, if you can, at this point, hopefully everyone has gotten a chance to kind of open up some product and get their hands on some gameplay and that sort of stuff. So maybe in the comments, let me know what is kind of one thing you're looking forward to in kind of just the future of Lorcana. What do you want to see? Whether it's just national tournaments, competitive play, or more enchanted cards released in the future, better product availability, anything. So kind of like what you're looking forward to in Lorcana's future. That would be really cool to hear from all of you about. So awesome. With that out of the way, let me take away the image and make my portrait a little bit smaller so I won't be hiding too much. And we will kind of take a look at some gameplay featuring another cool deck that I have been introduced to and was trying out. So a little bit of background here. I was just kind of watching a lot of gameplay. There seems to be a lot of people who are running steel Amber decks, including Ducky. So definitely shout outs to him. He's currently the number one player on the ladder. Yeah, so him and a lot of players have been running this Amber Amethyst deck that utilizes kind of Ariel singing and just a lot of value that you get from Rapunzel's and this Stitch Carefree Surfer. And so, kind of based off of that, I was motivated to kind of come up with my own flavor of a deck. And by no means, I think this is like the best iteration of Amber Steel. I think currently other players playing REOs and kind of a bunch of songs have really good decks, probably even better than this one. But I really kind of like this iteration of the Amber Steel deck, and I will run some gameplay with it and hopefully show you kind of how it works, how to play with it, how to potentially play against it. And in general, just like as a note, I think Amber is still pretty new on the scene. That a lot of people don't really play around Rapunzel as they should have. Rapunzel is just an amazing card, and I'll talk a little bit about it. One of the reasons I don't include Ariel in this Amber Steel deck is because really a lot of the songs in Amber and Steel just don't seem to fit super well. Like Be Our Guest or Part of Your World. Like I just didn't really like running it so much. And so essentially I just cut out the singing package, so the Ariel, the songs, and just added in a little bit of Bodyguard. The Moanas, I really like Moanas because they really help you enable Rapunzels. So you want kind of high health characters that can soak up some damage so you can heal and kind of draw cards off of. And then I also kind of replaced the singing package area with Beast's Mirror. Just a kind of solid card that can bail you out of some emergencies in case you don't have any cards in hand. And so with that, let's just go through the package. So we include 4 of Hades. So pretty much most of our Amber cards are going to be value cards. Hades is just really good against Be Prepared and a bunch of board wipe cards, right? Because essentially each copy of Hades can pull back another copy in your discard. Really, the only way to get rid of Hades recursion is Sapphire with Let It Goes and the blue Hades, which kind of just kick away the yellow smaller Hades. I find that kind of funny. But anyways, so other than blue, Hades is just really good to keep. Like the first copy of Hades you draw, you just play out, and then each additional copy of Hades can just pull back the Hades that was banished or in your graveyard there. We always have to highlight an MVP of the deck, Rapunzel. Her ability is essentially when you play her and have a character that has damage on it, you can heal up to 3, and however much health you heal or however much damage you heal, you can draw that many cards. And this card really is game breaking. So as you see, hopefully I can run some games to really highlight the strength of Rapunzel here. I ran 4 copies of You Have Forgotten Me. This is just like the quintessential 2-for-1 card. Can really hurt your opponent if your opponent only has 2 cards left in your hand. You make them essentially discard their hand and rely on top decks. Otherwise, it's just great. You discard 1 card, your opponent discards 2, 2-for-1. We run a few copies of the Goofy Musketeer, specifically for his stat line. Once again, another kind of card that can soak up some damage to enable your Rapunzel. And Moana, same thing. Especially, she also quests for 3, which when you quest with her, your opponent really has to do something about it. And because of that, you can often use that to enable your Rapunzels. And then finally, we have Carefree Surfer Stitch, which is a great card to just draw cards. High health. Kind of the theme of this is to soak up damage, draw cards, and just outvalue your opponent. In Steel is where we include some of our early game presence in order to deal with kind of those aggro decks. So we include 4 copies of the Captain Hook. Captain Hook and Prince Eric are just great 1-drops and 2-drops that can deal 3 damage. So that could kill an opponent's Simba Protective Cub and just help you handle early game aggro. We also include some smashers just for removal, and then the Tinkerbell duo to continue to kind of deal with aggro from the opponent. Tinkerbell shift onto a Tinkerbell with Grab Your Swords can clear out all of those 2 health creatures or 3 health creatures. On top of that, Tinkerbell also has 5 health, so really good stat line for Rapunzel. We really want creatures that can really help enable Rapunzel here. Then we have some copies of Donald Duck. And This is a musketeer that I specifically included in case I run up against a lot of evasive cards. Since other than removal, our deck has difficulty dealing with evasives. So Donald Duck is kind of a play there in order to deal with evasives if we ever run into them. And then Hans, great for actually other than dealing that one damage to an opponent to remove them or make it easier to destroy. Hans can also deal that damage to your own characters, which can enable Rapunzel as well. So lots of flexibility in Hans there. We run 4 copies of the Beast. He is a great card against control or any player that relies on item decks like the magic mirrors. We really don't want opponents to be constantly drawing cards, so just save up the beasts to deal with opponents' items. Grab your swords is removal, and the giant tink is once again kind of to deal with that aggro presence. So that's pretty much the makeup of this deck. Essentially, the core of this deck is just figure out shenanigans or ways to enable your Rapunzel. Because once you start getting the Rapunzel train rolling, you just have so much fuel, you'll outvalue your opponent and win the game down. So without further ado, let's go into some gameplay, and we'll see how we do this time around. I am going to get some water. Be right back. Awesome. Interesting thing to note here, I do like the interface now where you can't see who you're playing up against or the number of cards in your deck. So it really kind of is a best of one type play. We want to keep one, a 1-drop, a 2-drop. We don't really need a smash. We don't want the Hans or the Hades, I guess. We'll just keep a hand for early game aggro. I would have really liked to draw into a Rapunzel, but it looks like we're playing some sort of control Amethyst whenever I see Amethyst. So having the Hades is good against control. We want to draw into some more of them. Knowing we're up against control, I typically just ink my 1-drops and 2-drops because they tend to not be as useful. We really want a beast. Here, You Have Forgotten Me is great as well. We will ink our Prince Eric and pass the turn. So what we're I'm not a big fan of Grab Your Swords in this particular matchup. Because we really don't want removal. We want ways to deal with opponents' items. So Beast and discard You Have Forgotten Me and Hades. That's like kind of our win conditions here. So let's see. On turn 3, we probably want to play out. Do we want to get rid of their Maleficent? It can enable them to sing, but to be fair, at this point, they can just spend the 3 lore to sing anyways. So we'll just ink the smash. Probably play out a You Have Forgotten Me on turn 4, and then see where that leads us. I really want to kind of draw into some Rapunzels and card draw. Stitches aren't super reliable for card draw right now. I guess we could also try to run out a Hans. They have so many cards in hand that You Have Forgotten Me isn't going to be super helpful. So I think we are going to run out a Hans and pass. And so the idea here is that even if they kill the Hans, we can just get some value out of the Hades. But we don't have that good of a hand against control this time around. We really want the Beast right now. I think that's the one card we want to try to find. That magic mirror is why we need a Beast. So we can run out a sword. I think I will do that. I'll run out the swords, and then kill the Rafiki just to deal with their board. But I think if we don't get a beast soon, that magic mirror is just gonna run away with value in this game. At least we prevent him from using the magic mirror, which is good this round. And the pocket watch. The magic mirror is definitely a high priority target. Um, we could you have forgotten me here. Let's see if they discard a big Aladdin. I assume they have that in their hand. That's why they played out the small Aladdin. Let's see. Nope, they discarded a. Oh, they did discard a big Aladdin. Elsa and big Aladdin. I wonder what they're keeping in their hands then. But if that's the case, they might have another big Aladdin. We want to. Do we want to continue to ink? Yeah, we want to get up to our Stitch. We're gonna assume they have a big Aladdin in their hand. I mean, if they do and they run into the Hans, I can still get rid of it with the grab your swords. It's not the end of the world, and I can Hades him back. You know what? I will. They discarded one Aladdin, so I'm just going to hope that they don't have another Aladdin in their hand. They kept the hand with two Aladdins. Kudos to them. Okay, nope, they didn't. So I will be very happy with the Maui play. So now we can at least get a little bit of value out of our Hades. Bring back the Hans. Probably ink the Hans. Play out the Tinkerbell and pass and hope that opponent doesn't have removal so that we could play out a Stitch. It's good. I don't think Ruby has any removal for 3. Yeah, but they're getting a lot of value out of the magic mirror, which is unfortunate. But we will hopefully yes. Okay, that's a great draw. We'll ink a Moana. And we will tink away a sword. Do we kill the Aladdin? Don't think we do. I think we just quest. No. I don't really want to run into... Aladdin is going to run into the Hades if we do quest. You know what? We will quest. Let's see how we get punished if we do. We're learning here as well, playing this deck, right? So... let's see what our opponent has. Regardless of what they do next turn, we definitely get rid of their magic mirror with the beast. That's our number 1 priority. Okay, yep, that's what we about expect. Okay, Dragonfire is totally fine. They ink and draw? Yep, ink and draw. Perfect. So now opponent's on 1 card. We're definitely playing out the beast to get rid of their magic mirror. And we probably can play out the Captain Hook and pass. Just pressure their board a little bit more. Hopefully they don't... they have another magic mirror. Okay, now we need another beast. That's really awkward. Grab your swords. Just put some more pressure on the opponent. Ink a Goofy. Play out a Hans and quest. And pass. Think yeah, the magic mirror is just gonna provide enough value for the opponent that it's gonna be hard to play around. Well, we continue to put pressure, but opponent has so many good draws. Yeah, and they get friends on the other side, magic mirror to draw more, dragon fire. At least they're not using their magic mirror as much. Play out a Tink. Hopefully can use her to cycle away some cards. But honestly, if we don't have a way of getting rid of that magic mirror, I'll be potentially calling games soon. Well, there's two magic mirrors. Well, we will cycle away. Or grab your sword. Play out these things and pass. Oh yeah. I think opponent has this pretty handily away. We'll just do a couple more draws and see what we got, but I'm just going to probably resign here. Don't have enough fuel to deal with opponent's magic mirrors here. Mickey is gonna quest. Let's see. Do we even have any outs? Not getting Rapunzel draw really hurts, and not getting our Beast Mirror in this is definitely not the best either. Yep. Yeah, opponent just has too much fuel at this point to deal with most things. Turning Elsa back. Quest. Can we even do anything? I mean, the ideal is we can play out if we draw another Captain Hook, we can play out two Captain Hooks and a Stitch to draw some cards. But don't think we can do anything. Yeah, and opponent's just drawing more and more cards. Hades. That's good. We'll definitely play him out. Return the Beast. Play out a Beast. Kill the Magic Mirror. And pass. Probably have an Elsa. Or Maleficent. I'm actually not... It's not too bad if they play out a Maleficent. Because then we can play out a Captain Hook, Stitch, draw some cards, and pass. I mean, realistically, we're probably going to lose anyways, but at least now we have a little bit more wiggle room. Let's see what they do. It's going to be really nice to grab some card draws. Or not. Dragonfire, yeah. Opponent just has so much removal here. We can smash something. I mean, I need to kill both of these things. Play out a Hans. Smash the Maleficent. Kill the Maleficent. Kill Brooms. I just return it back to their hand. And then, yeah, no, this game is pretty much over. A little bit too little too late. Didn't get the value from the Rapunzels this game. So yeah, no, Ruby Amethyst is still good. But at least we have certain ways to make like have a better chance against that deck and kind of play with our beasts, do some good work. But against kind of with a hand that didn't have a beast starting out, and giving opponent a lot of kind of wiggle room was definitely not the way to win there. Okay, so let's see. We don't want the Surfer Stitch, and we don't want the Grabber Swords. We want to keep both the Rapunzel and the Moanas and the Prince Eric, and this seems like a pretty good hand. So we can ink the Smash, and kind of, depending on what our opponent plays, kind of go from there. Okay. Ink the Smash and pass. Is this gonna be another Ruby Amethyst deck? Yes, it is. Okay. So we just don't need our early drops. Playing out a Tink could be nice. Cycle away some of our other cards, I guess. Steel Ruby. Okay, never mind. I thought it was gonna be Ruby Amethyst, but it is Steel Ruby. In that case, I'm gonna ink a Moana and play out the Tink and see what our opponent does. So we have, if we can enable Rapunzel next turn, that would be the most ideal. Otherwise, something like shifting onto a Tink just to kill the Aladdin can be good enough. We also have You Have Forgotten Me to kind of make their choices a little bit more difficult. Let's see what the opponent chooses to do here. Also plays out a Tink. Okay. Well, do we shift or do we filter? Don't think we need to filter with Tink. I think shifting is correct here. So we will ink a Stitch. We will shift and then pass. So next turn we can choose, depending on what the opponent does, either to play You Have Forgotten Me or be Rapunzel. Hopefully we can get some damage onto our Tink so we can play out the Rapunzel. What does our opponent do? They do quest. I don't think that's the right play. That does allow us to enable Rapunzel here. Uh, cool. And we will ink. Moana is also a very tempting target. I think we just get rid of the You Have Forgotten Me and plan to play out Moana next turn. They do have a whole new world. I need to be careful about that. Maui's annoying. I think in that case, I want to return the Tinkerbell to my hand. Ink the Moana. and play out the Prince Eric and pass. So the Tinkerbell can take care of the Maui. And that's why I returned it with Hades. Um, so next turn, I have some leeway to quest. I didn't want to quest this turn clearly because Maui's just gonna run into any of the characters I quest with. And lore isn't as relevant with this deck right now. So we'll see. Ruby is starting to get pretty high up on the ink though, so that can be pretty scary. Yeah, okay, so they do run a whole new world, huh? I still get a ink. All good. And that is the other reason why we inked and played out a Prince Eric there, just to go down on our cards a little bit. Having the another Tinkerbell is excellent here. Don't think Ruby Steel has any relevant items, but if they do play out like a pocket watch or something, we can definitely keep the beast available for that. Cool. Okay. That doesn't do anything. Nice. We'll play out the Tink. Ink a Donald Duck. And so Giant Tink can be annoying, right? So we just pass here and see what the opponent does. Does he play a board wipe? If he does, I definitely have the Hades. And part of the reason why I run Hades is the Hades recursion, which can be very nice. Um Probably not. I wouldn't be super happy if opponent played another A Whole New World here. That's the only card that I think I really don't want to have to face. Hopefully, opponent has enough cards in their hand that they don't want Whole New World right now. And that is the case. Cool. And they quest with Tink. I feel like that can't be right. We got You Have Forgotten Me, but that doesn't quite help here. I think what we want to run out cards. So You Have Forgotten Me isn't gonna help too much. This Pink Hades Kill Tink, I think works. Smash into the Hans. Hades, return the Hades. We probably don't need the beast. And then quest, and pass. So we're just assuming opponent is definitely playing a whole new world here. But we have enough cards right now and that essentially. Oh, okay. Or be prepared. We're perfectly situated for be prepared. If they ink something, we're gonna You Have Forgotten Me. The remaining two cards. Are they gonna ink something? So the reason why I've saved You Have Forgotten Me is my opponent's probably saving a whole new world, which is totally fine. See, and this is the reason why I run Hades, because that's just pretty gross. Getting two characters on board for free essentially every turn after a whole new world, or sorry, Be Prepared. Giant Tink. Okay. This is a You Have Forgotten Me turn. Opponent only has two cards in hand. Let's see what they discard. Another Be Prepared and a Dragonfire. So they did not have. Let's see. So we. What do we do here? Do we bring out a giant tink of our own? I think we do. Just run out cards. Quest, quest, pass. Make the tink run into something, kill our Hades, and then we can attack right back into the tink. Oh, and they draw a whole new world. That's... Man. Yep, that's good. They have 8 ink to play with now. Yeah, of all of the cards that they could have drawn there, a whole new world would have done it. It's their second whole new world. Yeah. 2 Be Prepareds, 2 whole new worlds. Thankfully, I think we run 4 Hades, so we still have 1 more Hades. In case of an opponent's Be Prepared. We also have a Stitch. Stitch is just going to be really good. That hurts. That hurts a lot. 2 Stitches. Well, we run out a Tink. We run out our Tink. And we ink a Tink. And pass. 28 to 27. So we're not too worried about just being milled out by a whole new world, but opponent definitely kind of stabilized, and they do have Ruby. So I mean, if we do end up losing this game, I would definitely chalk it up to that great top deck into a great whole new world there. Pretty much if they didn't draw out that card, it would have been a lot easier for us to stabilize. Okay. So we got let's see, Hans or Donald. We probably want more health. So we'll ink the Hans. We'll play the Donald. Oh, probably should not have played him out as bodyguard mode. That was my bad, but it is okay. We'll pass. Yeah, I chose the wrong option there. Normally I just want to keep 3 characters on board. Because that way it forces them to right now they can just run into the Donald. Otherwise, they would have had to spend another removal spell on him. But they could, like this play does seem to be baiting a Rapunzel, which is also something opponent has to be aware of. But no, yeah, they just run into it. I have 3 Rapunzels in my discard pile. Yeah, it's tough. I'm going to smash their Maleficent at the very least. Actually, I'm just gonna play this, draw 2 more cards. Yeah, and we still have enough ink to smash the Maleficent. And we will kill the Prince Eric, ink a Tinkerbell, and pass. Opponent hopefully is running out of. So 3 Dragonfires, 1 Maleficent. He probably has some more Maleficents in his deck or in his hand. Okay, he's going to ping the Eric, maybe? Or, sorry, the Captain Hook. Do they have another Maleficent? They don't. They have. Okay, interesting. What do we do here? I think we sing. Play out a Beast Mirror. Play out the Hans. Ink the Goofy. Play out the Prince Eric. And then draw a card. And pass. That's a nice card. You Have Forgotten Me is going to be really nice, especially if opponent goes down goes back down to 2 cards in their hand. Perfect. Or 1 card in their hand. Well, that makes it less good. That definitely makes it less good, huh? Try to race, I guess. Draw. Play out a Tink. And pass. If anything, the Beast Mirror might save me this game. Let's see what they do. Hopefully, I really hope they don't have a removal. Is it Be Prepared? Be Prepared would be okay. Here. Another Aladdin. Okay. Interesting. They threaten lethal on board, so a Moana is not gonna help. 9876. I feel like other than a Stitch, um, which I guess we have 2 of, every other card that we draw doesn't. I mean, Moana doesn't save us, and we probably, if we draw a Stitch, we would have been happy. But if it's anything else, I guess what if we draw into a cannons? We get to 15, but I think we do need a Moana. Nope. And that is not gonna do it. Yeah. Close game. 15, and then opponent will quest out. Yeah, no, that was tough. Needed just a little bit more removal in that game. Cool. We will do 1 more and see how that game goes. Once again, I think Just getting a little bit unlucky on that last game with the cards that opponent milled with the whole new world. But I don't think it's a bad matchup. I think most of the time we end up doing pretty well in that matchup. Just because, a whole new world is good, but it also refills our hand as well. And we have plenty of things to play. Oh, let's see what we have here. You Have Forgotten Me will keep. Don't need to smash Tinkerbell, Hans, or grab your sword or the Donald Duck. I guess we- we'll try to get some early game plays. Yeah, like Captain Hook. Two, You Have Forgotten Me is Beast, Smash. Okay, so this is a great hand against control. A okay hand against aggro. So we'll see what opponent does. Oh, it looks like a kind of mirrory matchup. The You Have Forgotten Me's are gonna come in real nice here. Um, I think a Donald Duck and pass. Um, we want to wait until we ink the Captain Hook. Most of the time, we can ink that Captain Hook, but kind of want to make sure opponent isn't playing aggro before we ink. Most still decks don't run aggro. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty mirror-y matchup. So our three You Have Forgotten Me's are gonna come in real nice. We'll pass. I don't think opponent is playing Beast's Mirror, but if they are, okay, let's see what they get off of Mario. Nothing. We definitely like to see that. Um, I mean, I don't think opponent is running Beast's Mirror, but just in case, we'll ink the Tink. We definitely want to smash the Ariel because we don't want them to be. And so this turn, if they do You Have Forgotten Me, we'll probably discard a Beast and You Have Forgotten Me, and You Have Forgotten Me them back. They don't. Okay. Happy about seeing that because now we can just work on discarding their hand. What did they discard? Tink and a smash, huh? Okay. That's okay. Man, they're not getting very lucky off of the aerials. You have forgotten me them again. Seems good. They're inking a You Have Forgotten Me. Um, in that case, we will also ink a You Have Forgotten Me. Play out the beast and pass. Cerberus, okay. Very likely they have a Rapunzel. In that case, I mean, might as well just run out the You Have Forgotten Me, right? Think of Prince Eric. Play You Have what? I think yeah, this is definitely a bug. You should it's so you have forgotten me is each opponent chooses and discards 2 cards. We have seen in the most recent rules that as long as it's not a cost to play a card, you are able to play it. And essentially what Ravensburger has said is that you essentially do what you can from the card text. So if an opponent doesn't have 2 cards, then they just choose and discard what cards they can. Um, this really makes it a little bit awkward now because I don't want to play out anything. And I'll just pass, I guess. Normally I would play out the You Have Forgotten Me, just get rid of opponent's cards in hand. Um, but apparently you can play around You Have Forgotten Me by just going down to 1 card, which yep, is bugged. Thankfully, opponent also can't really do much. Can ping my beast for 1, but I don't really care too much about that. I mean, now I'll play out You Have Forgotten Me. What cards do they discard? Yeah, the Rapunzel and the Stitch. Perfect. And we will play out a Prince Eric and pass. Because next turn we have our own Stitch on board. Or Rapunzel. Hopefully opponent doesn't get anything super relevant. Yes. We'll ink a Rapunzel and play out the Stitch. Draw 2 cards. And pass. Do we want to quest with the Beast? No. We have enough to actually take out the Cerberus. Ink a Cerberus. They are Tink. They're 2 damage to or 1 damage to everything, but not particularly helpful. I think I'm just going to deal with their Hans. Okay. We will absolutely heal our Hans. Or, sorry, heal our Beast. Attack into the Hans. Attack into the Cerberus. Probably kill the Cerberus. We have up to 4, huh? We could make the attack a little bit awkward by inking Captain Hook and playing out a Donald Duck in bodyguard mode and pass. So let's see what the opponent does. They can run both Ariel and Tink, into Donald Duck, but it definitely makes for an awkward exchange, and I have my own Tinkerbell laying in wait. Perfect. We don't need this. You Have Forgotten Me. Yeah, we'll play out a Tink. Kill their Tinkerbell. And because we have card advantage, we're just going to say we're in a pretty happy place right now. We have ink advantage, 9 to 6, card advantage. Why not play out another Tink? Ink the Beast. Play out another Hans, and we're just really gonna pressure the board or pressure the board and quest and unless opponent has some amazing draws such as even a Stitch Carefree Surfer isn't gonna let them kind of draw cards. Rapunzel would only let them draw one card. I guess they can draw two cards if they run the Tinkerbell into Rapunzel. But we have a lot of lore on board that I think, unless opponent deals with some of our creatures, we are fine not having to play around an opponent's Rapunzel now. And Steel doesn't have super good board clears, which is always a plus. I think what really swung this game in my favor was, once again, opening hand, all of the You Have Forgotten Me's. I essentially forced my opponent to discard 4 cards this game, and I think that really made a big difference. Wonder what the opponent's thinking. Maybe he's wondering if he should filter that card with the Tinkerbell or not. And that's game. So yeah, this has definitely been a pretty nice deck. I think the benefit of playing this deck is that it doesn't really have any matchups that are super bad. Can deal with most situations. Of course, you get outplayed depending on like what cards you have in your hand and matchup you're going to. Especially if you're playing against Ruby Amethyst, you really need cards to like kind of keep pace with them, such as the Beasts to get rid of their mirrors, as well as like enabling your Rapunzels to draw some cards and Hades for the recursion. But overall, I think in general this deck does pretty well there. So hope this has been helpful. Once again, definitely be sure to leave a comment to this video to be entered for a chance to win a Lorcana booster pack. Please, if you do win, reach out to my email at jaillinenlorcana@gmail.com. And best of luck, and see you next time. Hope this has been helpful. Take care.